Good morning and welcome. I'm Jim Zemlin, the Executive Director of the Linux Foundation, and it's a privilege to be here hosting today's Cloud Foundry Foundation launch event. As all of you know, Cloud Foundry is already a successful and rapidly growing open source effort as the de facto open source platform as a service project. It has great code that solves a fundamental problem for modern application developers. In the last year, we've seen a 150% increase in contributors. We've seen a 1,700% increase in code commits. These are big numbers for any open source project of this scale. In addition, there is already an established ecosystem of companies commercially dependent on the code: Pivotal, IBM, HP, Verizon, and many more. This creates a virtuous cycle which begets even better code as organizations improve the open source code to bring products to the market and then contribute that code back to the project. Today's announcement covers some important news for the Cloud Foundry community that will add fuel to the fire of an already hot project. The Cloud Foundry Nonprofit Foundation is now fully operational with its governance by contribution model. This brings millions of dollars of shared resources into action starting today. In addition, the foundation will showcase some unique and innovative approaches to open source development by offering a unique fast track for developers to get commit rights to the project through dojos. You know, it often takes years for an individual developer to get commit rights to a major open source project. Through the use of dojos, this reduces years to weeks. The foundation is also kicking off a certification program to ensure consistency across Cloud Foundry branded products and services that will prevent fragmentation and ensure compatibility. The number of companies committed to Cloud Foundry Foundation has grown by 40% in the past few months. This kind of momentum is proof that Cloud Foundry is a code base and an ecosystem the industry is rallying behind. Finally, we are launching a new Linux Foundation and Cloud Foundry Foundation partnership that will leverage some of the operational expertise that we have here at the Linux Foundation, home of the world's largest open source project, Linux. I'll be joined here today by Pivotal CEO Paul Meritz and IBM executive Angel Diaz. We also have video messages from Foundation members HP and VMware. And finally, we will close today's event with some important comments from James Waters, the head of product for Cloud Foundry at Pivotal. I'd like to share a short video with you that highlights this remarkable momentum.
Cloud Foundry Foundation is an open source foundation whose purpose is really to drive the innovation and the ecosystem around Cloud Foundry technology, which is the leading PaaS, platform as a service technology in the industry.
One of the more important aspects of Cloud Foundry Foundation is to promote, sustain, and grow a culture of innovation.
We're using a different model. It's based on governance by contribution. We think it's a really innovative model that really says that the more you're involved, the more you contribute, the more influence you'll have over Cloud Foundry. And we believe at Pivotal that Cloud Foundry has the potential to really transform how people build software. And we want to share that with the industry, and we want to work as partners with other companies and individuals and organizations to really drive innovation as much as we can.
I see Cloud Foundry becoming sort of the industry standard platform as a service technology. I do expect that it'll be broadly adopted across a variety of industries and provided in terms of offerings. I think there will be offerings from a number of different vendors, and I think that in and of itself helps define a healthy ecosystem. And I think that, again, from the developer perspective, I think the more adoption it gets, then the more interest we'll get in contributions from users of the technology.
The goals of the foundation are to make the project the platform of choice for application delivery and change the world.
I think the goal of the foundation is really about, lighting up the ecosystem and improving the technology and allowing Cloud Foundry to interface with every infrastructure as a service with many, many different kinds of software applications and solutions. And so I think we have a lot of opportunity within the foundation to move both the technology forward, but then equally move the industry forward.
I'm here with Paul Meritz, CEO Pivotal. Paul, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's a big day for the Cloud Foundry Foundation going fully operational. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what the potential for the Cloud Foundry Foundation is and the impact it'll have on the industry.
Well, the foundation came out of a belief by a bunch of us who believe that the cloud is too important to be allowed to become proprietary and the property of any one vendor. And we needed a common platform that would allow a lot of people to come together, contribute, and do interesting things on top of that platform. And to do that, you really need to have an organization, a way of working together, a form of governance that really allows that contribution, that cooperation to happen in an open but orderly way.
Tell me about some of the opportunities that individuals or organizations will have to participate in the Cloud Foundry project.
Well, there are several ways that people can participate and contribute. One is contributing the technology itself. But then there's ways of using the technology either to build things, applications or services that will plug into Cloud Foundry and be able to be made available to people all over the world as a result, or people who are going to supply the underlying engines that Cloud Foundry can sit on top of. So getting that reinforcement of application development, service providers, underlying cloud people building clouds, as well as people contributing to the technology, I think can become a very powerful force here.
Tell me about this governance by contribution model and why that is so important here.
Well, there's always a tension between order and chaos. On the one hand, we want to make this very open and allow people to come forward with lots and lots of ideas and to feel welcome and that they can bring their ideas and have them considered and implemented. But on the other hand, every successful project has a structure, has an architecture, and there has to be someone whose job it is to make sure that the architecture is sound and is evolved in an orderly fashion going forward. To do that, we've come up with this notion of governance by contribution. In other words, those people who are not only motivated to come and contribute, but also who have the necessary background and understanding and familiarity of the project should be the ones who really become the custodians of the structure of the project going forward. We don't want this project to be owned by standards drones who are sitting in committees. We don't want it to be owned by warring commercial vendors who are trying to trip each other up. We really want it to be owned by people who really have an interest and the expertise to really build a great body of technology.
So it's just like other open source projects that run most of society these days, it's the developers who are really going to.
Exactly, and not just the developers, but within the community developers, there are people who emerge through a meritocracy as to be the ones who should be really governing the project going forward. And we want to encourage that kind of meritocracy here in Cloud Foundry.
So code will be the coin of the realm, so to speak.
Well, certainly the familiarity with the code and good architectural skills and the ability to work cooperatively with a community will be what's important here.
That's terrific. Well, you're off to a great start. Thanks for being here today, Paul.
Thank you.
Also with us today is Angel Diaz of IBM. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Jim.
So IBM has done a lot of work in open source. You have both deep experience in working in open source projects and also creating products based on open source. And you're investing that expertise in the Cloud Foundry Foundation as a Platinum member. Can you share some of IBM's perspectives on why this is such an important moment for the industry?
Sure. Well, you know this, but think about it. The new monetization, the new way people think about development today is speed. Speed has become the new currency. Everyone wants to be faster in how they develop. They want to be faster on how they test, how they deploy, how they get better business outcomes. What we've done here is we have created a moment in time, a platform for the people, where people can go and develop their applications faster in a polyglot way, using many different runtimes, but also have the insurances, because it is supported by the industry, of having portability of those applications across infrastructures. They can scale to the capacity they need. They can use the skill base that they need. It is an amazing time to be a developer nowadays, and it is an amazing time to be a developer who's using Cloud Foundry with today's announcements.
Well, tell us about what IBM's contributions are to Cloud Foundry.
Sure. Well, look, like any other open source community, we go in and we earn our ranks. It's all about showing value in the community, bringing our expertise, but working with the community. We did that day one, walking in with Paul and the Pivotal guys. To date, we've got dozens of developers who are actively contributing code to Cloud Foundry, who have gone through the Dojo program. We've focused on availability and scalability, in particular re-architecting a lot of the runtime components. Security has been real big for us. We've done a lot of work with the team on ensuring that security permeates all the way from the end user application through the platform into the infrastructure. And guess what? We've been working on internationalization, because this is a global community. Right. You want folks to be able to work on Cloud Foundry across the world. That's exciting for us, and we're going to continue working in those areas and much more coming up.
You've done a lot of work in open source already, and one of the things that I think is interesting, and you mentioned, is that's unique here to an open source project, is this Dojo process.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a fast track for developers to get commit rights. That's different, right? Sometimes it takes years to get commit rights to a project like this, but with Dojos, it's sort of this accelerated model. Tell me a little bit about IBM's experience with the Dojo.
I am super excited about what we've done together, because if you think about it, you're right. The commit process takes time, because you got to earn respect, earn that karma within the community. You can still do that in Cloud Foundry, but we've kind of fast-tracked that in a sense, where you can go participate with developers side by side or virtually through a chat mechanism, right? Gain an understanding of the system or the components that you're working on quicker, so you can have quicker commit rights. Right? You want to be able to commit quicker, you want to be able to do more quicker, handle pull requests, etc. quicker. This whole process, this hybrid process of pairwise programming and then scaling it globally is unique. It is unique to Cloud Foundry, and something that I think will just improve the code base and improve, frankly, the adoption of Foundry out there like no other community.
And IBM developers have been through this process, and you've already seen some results. Like, what have you seen out of that process?
Oh, I mean, the folks. I got a team here in San Jose, and a lot of those folks have been working with the Cloud Foundry team, and I can tell you that they come up to speed quicker. They are more productive. They are taking leadership roles quicker. And at the end of the day, it helps our clients and it helps the community. I mean, IBM's got a platform built on Cloud Foundry, the IBM Bluemix platform. We scale it globally, and everything we do to improve Bluemix goes right into the community to improve Cloud Foundry. So everyone gets it. So it goes back to that platform for the people. Right. You build an application on Cloud Foundry, it will run, it will scale across vendors, across infrastructures, across geographies.
One of the big things that is coming out today is also the launch of a certification process. Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about the certification and your thoughts on that.
Well, this is almost as exciting, or perhaps just as exciting, as the whole Dojo program, in the sense that up front, we are thinking about what does it mean for interoperability, for applications to be portable, for people to write code and have that have a certification process, right, where Cloud Foundry distributions, where applications can be portable. We're doing that on day one. I think that's really important for the community. We're investing a lot in test suites and test harnesses and doing builds and so forth to allow people to move faster. It's just going to go back to the beginning. It's going to allow people to participate in this new economy where speed is the currency. You have certification. You don't have to worry as much about those aspects of building your application.
Yeah, it sort of seems to balance that unexpected innovation you get in open source through the speed and anybody can participate, but also ensures consistency, which you provide through that certification platform. Thanks for being here today. We are also fortunate to have several additional Cloud Foundry Foundation members joining us today by video message. We have both Carl Eschenbach, President and COO, VMware, and Manav Mishra, Director of Product, HP Helion.
Jim, thank you. It's exciting to be working with you, the Linux Foundation, and the rest of Cloud Foundry Foundation to bring open platform as a service to the industry. VMware has invested in Cloud Foundry for many years, and in fact, it's an important component to many of our own products like vCloud Air. Over the years, it's been rewarding to see the breadth and depth at which other industry leaders have invested in Cloud Foundry, and the high level of innovation and sophistication that has been the outcome. Cloud Foundry represents a whole new level of acceleration in the path to the cloud, and to applications that have a deep impact on business. In fact, companies of all sizes across all industries are dramatically and quickly accelerating the level of productivity and innovation that is possible in the cloud by turning to Cloud Foundry. By establishing a model of open governance, the Cloud Foundry Foundation is ensuring a merit-based, autonomous, and agile development community. If you are a company and a developer that is investing in PaaS, you may want to take a much closer look at Cloud Foundry.
Thank you, Carl. And now we'll hear from Manav Mishra, Director of Product, HP Helion.
Thank you, Jim. It's a real pleasure to be here today. Cloud Foundry is very important to us at HP, and we are especially proud to be a part of this announcement today. HP is absolutely dedicated to open cloud solutions, and Cloud Foundry is core to our own development platform offering, the HP Helion Development Platform. Today, we are joined by many other leaders across industries that are also turning to Cloud Foundry as the standard for PaaS open source technology. Its breakthrough innovation and productivity are fundamentally changing what is possible with a platform as a service. It's exciting to now be working with the nearly 50 Cloud Foundry Foundation members to launch an extraordinary model of open governance. I encourage others in the industry to take a close look at the benefits the Cloud Foundry platform as a service brings to developers and the impact it can have on a company's ability to deploy, run, and scale applications. Thank you.
The phenomenal growth in the Cloud Foundry Foundation's membership is a testament to the power of this ecosystem. Platinum members EMC, HP, IBM, Pivotal, SAP, and VMware have been joined by a new member, Intel. Our new gold members are SAS Institute and Hortonworks. In addition, the Foundation has added a host of new silver members. I'm pleased to also have the head of product for Cloud Foundry at Pivotal, James Waters, joining us today. James has been traveling the world working with partners and customers and is here to share an update via video.
Thanks, Jim. It was such a pleasure to meet you for the first time this year at ApacheCon, and what I didn't know then was how important of a role that the Linux Foundation and Cloud Foundry Foundation and yourself coming together would all play in this. And I was so impressed with the way that you ran ApacheCon and the results we saw there. And one of the themes I thought was important about that talk was about how open source software was really changing the way that enterprises built systems and built software. And 10 years ago, as you well remember, it was really more when Linux first started about saving money and, hey, what's a cheaper operating system for me? And the thing that's really changed now with every enterprise I talk to is they say, what we're so excited about with Cloud Foundry is that we can participate. We can come to the Cloud Foundry dojo, and we don't have to become completely dependent on a vendor to supply all of our technology. We can really be intellectually activated participants. And that can be part of our purpose as people, to participate in this open cloud forum. And I think that's what's so exciting about this moment in time, is that not only have we transformed the way people write software and the way they deploy and manage software with Cloud Foundry as an open platform, we've also changed the way they do their jobs. And their jobs are fundamentally different today. And we got a corporate contributor license agreement today from another large financial services firm. And it's so special to be part of changing the way not only enterprise IT is working with the platform, but also changing the way people go about their daily business. So I think it's really exciting to be launching this Cloud Foundry Foundation formally now with the great support of people like Jim and the Linux Foundation. One thing that's so technically special about what Cloud Foundry has been able to accomplish on an architecture and technical front is that we've taken not only this idea of cloud portability, but we've also been on the cutting edge of container-based platforms. And I was demonstrating the speed and agility that you could do things like health management, app deployment, routing updates, log aggregation, and everything else with the container-based system at the heart of Cloud Foundry to a major industrial company. We showed them scaling an application by 300x, recovering from 20% hardware failure, automatically egressing all of the logs, everything happening in seconds. And I'll never forget when I turned to them, I said, okay, well, this is what we've done. How long would it take you to do that with your existing IT today? And they looked at me very honestly and said, I don't know, maybe never. And I think that's what's so special about radically new kinds of paradigms like Cloud Foundry, is that they not only bring portability to you, but they bring capability that you've never had before. What's been transformative about this journey for myself is seeing how broad the impact has been. And it's changed the idea that you needed to go just all in on Amazon. And I've been in so many executive briefings where the executives will come in and say, I guess we need to innovate, it's time to go all in on Amazon. And we've been able to bring them a message with Cloud Foundry that profoundly changes their view of the world and changes the limitations they were imposing on themselves. And now they understand that they can be productive on any cloud, that they can do next generation container-based systems there, they can have high availability data services, they can empower their developers with an easy to use API, they can build next generation APIs for their customers, all on one platform that doesn't lock them into one set of hardware and one vendor's inherent ambitions for them. So by able to move from Amazon to Google to OpenStack to VMware to even maybe bare metal in the future, we've changed the whole paradigm, and that productivity is no longer joined to the hardware and is no longer joined to a single vendor. And I think that's what's so transformative about the Cloud Foundry Foundation, is it brings together a lot of very powerful and innovative companies in that common purpose. And I'm so thankful to be part of that journey. And appreciate everyone's support here today, Jim and Paul and others, and look forward to working with everyone for a long time to come on this journey.
As you've seen today, there is a lot of excitement around Cloud Foundry. With the launch of a fully operational Cloud Foundry Foundation, a huge increase in members, and a partnership with the Linux Foundation, what we're going to see here is really an unbeatable platform as a service code base that no single vendor or service provider can match. As Linux has shown, all of us are smarter than any one of us. And what you're seeing here is a structure that can leverage that concept more rapidly than ever before. We heard about dojos, about certification platform, about increased resources. All of those things are coming together to make Cloud Foundry a platform you can bet on. Thank you.
Developers are looking for an experience where they can just sort of not have to call down to the infrastructure department and get a server provision rather, and to get an operating system installed and a bunch of middleware. They just want to be able to code and test their code. And Cloud Foundry enables you to do that.
Working with the Cloud Foundry community has been great. People are simply amazing.
Software development changes because you no longer have to worry about this underlying infrastructure that you need to set up. It's there for you. You just use it.
Mobility and cloud deployment models are fundamentally changing the game, the way applications are built, deployed, and consumed. So when you think about applications are built on platforms, and the requirements these new kinds of applications are driving, that kind of necessitate a new platform that supports infinite scale, platform that supports inherently multi-tenancy.
Fundamentally, what I really like about Cloud Foundry is the openness of it.
Cloud Foundry is going to become the de facto standard for PaaS. I think it will have a major influence not just on how companies build technology and how they interface with Cloud Foundry, but really help to evolve the way developers think about writing software and taking advantage of services and really abstracting the software from the hardware and enabling a whole set of unique services that I think have the potential to change the world.